The first thing the Galactic Concord learned about humans was not their strength, or their ships, or their weapons. It was their absence. At every peace summit, every armistice signing, every ceremonial end to a war, Earth arrived alone. No admirals. No honor guards. No fleets looming behind them in hologram or orbit. Just diplomats in plain attire, carrying thin data slates and thinner smiles. Other species found it unsettling. In a galaxy where power was always displayed, where peace was negotiated under the shadow of visible force, humanity's refusal to bring their military felt wrong. Weak, some said. Arrogant. Others whispered. The truth was far worse, and far more deliberate. Ambassador Lin Wei stood beneath the crystal vaults of the Concord spire as delegates from 100 worlds argued in harmonic tones. The summit concerned the Varelian border conflict, a war that had burned 3 systems to ash. Earth had been invited only because their trade routes intersected the contested region. The Varelians arrived with battleships parked in high orbit, their hulls projected proudly behind them. The Korth brought living warforms, armored and breathing, lined behind their negotiators like sacred beasts. Even the pacifist Eler showed up with defensive constructs, shimmering reminders that peace was a choice, not a weakness. Humanity brought nothing. Lin could feel the judgment pressing in from every direction. When the Varelian High Marshal finally addressed the chamber, his mandibles clicked with barely restrained contempt. Earth, he said, claims neutrality, yet offers terms without proof of strength. Why should your words carry weight when you refuse to stand behind them? A murmur of agreement rippled through the hall. This question had been asked before, in different forms, at different summits. Humans always answered politely. Never fully. This time, Lin did not sit down. Because, she said calmly, if we ever bring our military to a peace summit, it means peace has already failed. The chamber quieted, not because of her tone, but because of the sudden inexplicable drop in ambient energy. Instruments flickered. Long-range sensors went blind for half a second. No one noticed except the Korth tactician, who stiffened in alarm. The Concord assumed humans lacked ceremony. That they separated war and diplomacy out of inefficiency or fear. What they did not understand was that human military doctrine treated peace talks as a containment zone. Earth had learned early, long before joining the Concord, that presence alone could escalate conflict. Their history was scarred with examples. Parades that became provocations, guards that became targets, symbols that invited violence. So humanity adapted. Their military did not posture. It hid. It listened. It waited. And it never, ever revealed itself unless absolutely necessary. The middle phase of the summit stretched on for days. Talks stalled. The Varelians pushed territorial demands. The Korth countered with threats disguised as logistics. Lin remained calm, proposing compromises, offering reconstruction aid, suggesting demilitarized corridors. Behind her words, something else moved. Human observation arrays, undetectable to Concord sensors, mapped every fleet, every weapon charge, every micro-expression of aggression. Human analysts, light years away, modeled thousands of outcomes per second. Earth's military was present. Just not where anyone could see it. The turning point came when a rogue Korth warclade broke the ceasefire. Without warning, they fired on a Varelian colony world, blaming a navigation error. The chamber erupted in fury. Fleets powered weapons. Delegates screamed across translation bands. Lin did not raise her voice. She simply said, "This is your final chance to stand down." The High Marshal laughed. Others joined him. What threat could Earth possibly make now? That was when the stars behind the chamber dimmed. Not vanished. Not exploded. Dimmed, as if a vast shadow had passed between reality and the light itself. Every military sensor in the system screamed simultaneously. Communications collapsed. FTL lanes locked as if frozen by an unseen hand. Then a signal appeared on every display. No emblem. No threat language. Just a simple human transmission, translated perfectly across all species. This space is now under human military control. Do not escalate. Panic followed. The Varelians tried to bring weapons online. They failed. The Korth attempted emergency jumps. Space refused to let them go. Entire armadas, proud, ancient, terrifying, were rendered inert without a single visible shot fired. Earth's military had not arrived. It had unfolded. Lynn spoke again, and this time no one interrupted. You see, she said softly, we don't bring our military to peace summits because our military does not attend negotiations. It enforces outcomes. She gestured to the frozen fleets. What you are experiencing is not an attack. It is restraint. The ending came quietly. The rogue Korth clade surrendered within minutes. The Varelians agreed to withdraw. Borders were redrawn. Reparations scheduled. The war ended not with victory cries, but with signatures and exhausted relief. When the systems finally returned to normal, the shadow lifted. Human control vanished as seamlessly as it had appeared. No wreckage. No casualties. No proof. Except memory. Later, in private channels, Concord leaders demanded explanations. How had Earth done this? Where were their ships? Their weapons? Lynn's final report was brief. We don't believe peace should be negotiated at gunpoint, it read. So we remove the guns. After that summit, something changed. Future peace talks included a new, unspoken rule. If Earth was present, no one brought their military either. Fleets stayed farther away. Threats softened into language. Posturing diminished. Because the galaxy had learned the real reason Earth never brought their military to peace summits. Not because humans were weak. Not because they were naive. But because if humanity ever felt the need to show its full strength during talks, there would be no one left to negotiate with.